where best friends and next-door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Maris.
Hello.
It's not Maris Monday.
What is it?
Well, it's Thursday.
Where am I? How did I get here?
Well, I finished my notes too late for Willow, so you're joining me tonight as the host.
I'm Willow?
Yeah, you're the Willow tonight.
Oh, okay.
So this month is where me and Willow pick cases that interest us, kind of like a grab bag, no theme.
Yeah.
And you all know how cold cases and weird disappearances intrigue me. So today we're covering a really weird one. I had never heard this case before.
What is it?
It is the disappearance of Sandra Johnson Hughes.
I've never heard of it either.
Yeah, I'm just surprising you today.
Well, I'm very scared.
And if you guys hear me like rattling around, I am trying. I don't have a phone. My phone died, so I'm using a huge tablet. And it just makes my life difficult.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so if you see I'm scooting thing. I should have done this earlier, but I don't.
Whatever. Let's hear about Sandra and why she's gone.
In 2020, Sandra was 54 years old and living in Hawaii at the start of the pandemic. And she had always led a rather nomadic lifestyle, so when she chose to move to California, just as the pandemic was starting to ramp up, it didn't really surprise friends and family. Sandra had been married twice and divorced twice. She didn't have any children, so she was pretty much free to just come and go as she pleased whenever.
Mm-hmm.
On June 26, 2020, she informed friends and family that she would be going on a hiking trip in the Sierra National Forest. And again, this is not unusual for Sandra. She enjoyed She enjoyed outdoor activities like hiking and camping. She was a survivalist, and she was very experienced. She was very fit and had been on many solo hiking and camping trips in remote wilderness areas before.
Mm-hmm.
And in these cases where people go missing in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
I almost think that getting to a certain level of experience makes you careless.
Yeah, for sure. Or take like unnecessary risks. Like, I've been done this 50 times, so.
But this is not a case where that's, I think, relevant. I don't even know. I'm so curious to hear what you think of it when we get to the end.
I don't have any thoughts ever.
Yes. Oh, shut up. Earlier in June, she sold her house in Maui and bought a place to live in Madeira, California. Lockdowns and all the restrictions seemed like the perfect time for her to do a solo hike and camping trip. She loved nature and always had. She even considered being a park ranger in her youth, but had settled instead on accounting. God.
Wow.
I couldn't ever settle on accounting. That sounds
real
like torture.
boring.
Yeah. Sandra was fiercely independent and a free spirit, which doesn't jive with accounting, but like whatever. You do you, girl.
Sorry, Sandra.
She told her loved ones that she might even hike all the way up to Yosemite National Park. The world felt crazy to her with the pandemic and everything going on, and she kind of wanted to be away from it all, which I totally get. We did that.
Yeah, for sure.
And, never mind. So Sandra packed up all her gear and set out on her journey, and she would make it pretty far too, all the way up to a place called Johnson Meadows. And when you look at pictures of this place, it is so remote.
Okay.
And she drove up like some dirt access roads to get to it. She didn't hike all the way up there. It would have been, I don't even know how it would have been possible. And you can see why she picked it. It is a beautiful open meadow surrounded by dense forest with a stunning view of the mountains.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's not known what day she arrived, either on the 26th or shortly after. She parked her car in the lot that's there and hiked into the woods and into the meadow to set up her campsite. And everything seemed to be fine.
Yeah.
But it was not fine.
It was not.
No. The Madeira County Sheriff's Office received a report that a group of hikers had found an abandoned campsite in a disarray in the Johnson Meadows on July 2nd, 2020. At first, the hikers had given it kind of a wide berth, not sure if someone was actually camping there or not, but one of them went to investigate after not seeing any movement and found the tent either half put up or half collapsed.
Oh.
Everything was strewn about, like personal belongings and gear and everything. And no one was there, and seeing the camp like that, it prompted the hikers to contact the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Officers came that day to look and found identification belonging to Sandra. Her family was informed immediately. The condition of the campsite was described, and her family told police that Sandra was very neat and tidy and also extremely environmentally conscious.
Yeah.
I can't say that word. Conscious. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, you did right.
Thanks. And like to the point where she would always comment if she saw litter. She always made sure to pick up her trash. And she was just, even with her home, she was very neat and orderly. She would never, under any circumstances, leave a campsite in such a deplorable, messy state. They also informed authorities that they had not heard from her since that initial phone call on the 26th of June. Now, one thing that is literally never mentioned in this case, and I'm going to bring it up because people are going to think about it, cell phone. Never mentioned. Never.
And this was 2020, so yeah, cell phones are a thing.
Everyone has a fucking phone.
Yeah.
Even, well, I don't. But,
well,
you know.
it died.
But she doesn't have a cell phone. I'm taking it because it's never mentioned that she just doesn't have one, or else they would have used it to try and track her location.
Right.
It's just weird. A missing persons report was filed and a grid ground search with hundreds of searchers commenced. There were helicopters in the air with infrared cameras. In addition to that, there were search dogs present as well. 2 days after she was reported missing, on July 4th, 2020, a verified sighting of Sandra took place. Now, there's a lot of conflicting and confusing information about this sighting online. Like, they get the dates wrong frequently, citing this is happening on July 5th. No, it happened on July 4th.
Yeah, it was America Day.
It was America Day.
Yeah.
So I dug around a whole lot and pieced this all together. So if you see conflicting reports when you Google this case, that's why. Because they're conflicting.
Where was she at on July 4?
I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
She was spotted by a group of hikers on the Chiquito Pass trailhead, which was a good ways away from Johnson Meadow. Given their report, she was likely a little farther along, all the way to Chiquito Lake, and it's 8 air miles from Johnson Meadow through dense forest and rough terrain. She did not hike it.
So it's not real miles, it's rough miles?
Air miles, meaning as the bird flies.
Right, but like when you're on foot, it's bullshit, right?
It's bullshit, yeah.
It feels like 20 miles. Ugh.
Exactly.
Okay.
The group of hikers said she had a bruise on her face and was barefoot.
Oh.
She was wearing jeans and a black t-shirt. They said she seemed to be waiting for someone. At least that's what they assumed. It's important to note that if you Google her, you will see her physical description as her having brown hair. But at the time, she had dyed her hair blue. So, like, it's almost unmistakable. There's not a lot of blue-haired 54-year-old woman traipsing around in the woods.
Okay.
Yeah. She refused their help when they offered assistance, but she didn't seem to be in any distress or immediate danger, aside from the bruise, and so they left her there. The next day, on July 5th, her car was found by Chiquito Trailhead, and it had crashed into a tree and gone into a ravine. Because it's believed she drove it there on the 4th, and that it's likely the bruise on her face came from this small accident she was involved in.
That makes sense, yeah.
Other motorists on this trail said that they saw her. They didn't see the accident, but they saw her by her car, and she refused help. The car had not been traveling at a high rate of speed, probably going about 15 miles per hour. And it hit a stump, and then it slid into a small ravine and became stuck. And I hate the word ravine here, because when I hear the word ravine, I picture a deep gouge in the earth.
No, it's
a little ditch. The car slid into a ditch.
Right.
The airbags did not deploy, and there was nothing suspicious like blood found in the car. It's clear that she was likely not badly hurt, if at all, in this car accident. Sure, she could have bruised her face, but that alone wouldn't be considered a serious injury. Like, it's not even really enough to give you a head injury at that rate of speed. It's not known what made Sandra leave her campsite at Johnson Meadows, but it did seem she left in a hurry. It's possible that someone else messed up the site after she left. Or an animal like a bear, which is common for the area. What's unclear is why she refused help after crashing her car and getting stuck. In addition, there were strewn personal belongings from her car all over the road and in the brush by the car.
Right.
Also not something Sandra would do, even if she were frantically trying to leave her in an accident. Was someone else with her? Was she running from someone or having a mental breakdown? Don't know. If she were, wouldn't it make sense that she wouldn't go deeper into the woods instead of turning around and trying to go home?
Yeah, I have no idea. This is weird.
It gets much weirder. Authorities did have a working theory that she likely became disorientated after the car crash, perhaps due to a mild concussion. They left her car there in the ravine in case Sandra was using it as a landmark and might come back to it. On the car, they put stickers that had information for her to call if she needed help. But my thing is, since a cell phone is literally never mentioned, not one time in this case, what's she calling with?
Yeah, I feel like this whole thing that you're giving me, I feel like there's just so much missing information, maybe? Well,
there's just what we don't know.
Yeah.
And there's, like, I found only about 4 articles and a few Reddits and, like, 1 podcast about this. It's not, like, well known.
Right.
And I don't understand why, because this has a twist in it that's so creepy.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. So the search resumed after they found her car. And then the search did yield something. About 2 miles away from the car near Yosemite, they found Sandra's sleeping bag on July 8th. 6 days after she was reported missing and 4 days after she was last seen. The sleeping bag looked to have been slept in recently. What's that mean?
I don't know.
It's rumpled? Well, it could be just rumpled for being on the ground.
And it's for sure hers, right? We're not like...
Yes, this was for sure hers for sure. Yeah, her family identified it and everything. But that also raises the question, you sure? Did she put a little name in it? You know?
Yeah.
Sleeping bags is sleeping bags.
That's how I feel.
I mean, sure, I could look at one. Like, if you owned one, I'd be like...
Unless you have a very unique one.
But even if, like, you owned a sleeping bag, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at it with my eyes, I'm not going to investigate what brand it is. I don't give a fuck. I might note its color, but that's about it.
Just questions Maris asks.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Don't know.
Anyway, so the sleeping bag looked to have been slept in recently. It was in a remote, difficult to get to area. Authorities even wondered how she managed to get up there because she was fucking barefoot, according to witnesses. And even without bare feet, it was like steep, treacherous shit.
I feel like we're down in missing 411 territory where they.
This is considered.
This
is considered a missing 411 case.
With the shoes, you know, it's always something with feet.
I know.
Ugh.
An intense 7-day search of the area the sleeping bag was found in was conducted with no results. The search was then scaled back, and nothing more was found. And on August 9th, this case took a bizarre turn.
God, another one?
Yeah.
Ugh.
There was a sighting of Sandra.
Again,
about 1.5 miles south of where her car was found, 2 hunters saw a woman leaning against a tree alone. She had blue hair.
I was about to say, she got the blue hair.
Yes, she did, and she was older.
Okay.
They tried to wave at her and call to her, but she would not answer them. She wouldn't even look at them.
Was she a ghost those times with the, this time and the other time with the bare feet?
Fuck off. Maybe.
She was a ghost.
We'll get to that, though.
I solved it.
Once the hunters got back into town, they saw the missing persons posters because they'd left her. She was just leaning against a tree. She was fine. They realized once they saw the missing persons posters that they'd seen Sandra, so they called authorities and said that she looked thinner than her pictures on the poster, but she seemed unharmed. She was also reported to be wearing a floral shirt under some overalls. She had somehow managed to change her clothes because when she was last seen, she was wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
That is a distinct outfit also.
Yes. Investigators immediately went to this area but found no trace of her. A month later, the entire area would be ravaged by wildfires.
God.
However, the area Sandra's car was in was untouched. But then they hauled it out because it was clear she had not come back to it.
Okay.
Sandra did have the expertise and training to survive in the wilderness, but not without gear or shoes.
Or her car. You took your car away.
Well, it's September now.
I
She
know.
went missing in July.
God, Sandra. Okay, go on.
The searches were called off, and it was believed then that she had likely succumbed to the elements. The police did not consider the hunter's sighting really valid, even though they were certain, because it didn't make sense.
Blue hair. Blue hair.
But she had the blue hair.
Yeah.
Because they thought she's surviving with no gear in the wilderness barefoot with a head injury.
Well,
Unlikely.
Unless she's a ghost, as I said.
That would not be the last sighting of Sandra.
No.
On July 21st, 2021, Jake and Victoria Garber, along with their 3 children, were visiting the Sierra
National Park. I got it.
Forest.
Oh.
The family. I like how you're so confident. I got this. No, you don't, bitch. You don't got shit.
No, I messed it up.
Okay. The family used an off-road vehicle to get up to a place called Shut-Eye Peak, which is a creepy name.
Yep.
Because they wanted to go up there to have like a picnic before they continued on their trip because of the amazing views. They just wanted to relax.
Yeah.
There was a little meadow there, and as Jake and Victoria were setting up the picnic, their 3-year-old son, Caden, wouldn't stop looking out the window of the vehicle and having a conversation with no one.
I was right.
Yeah, I know.
No.
He wasn't talking to his parents or other siblings. Caden's parents ignored him because he's 3 and annoying, and made lunch. As they were preparing to leave, they noticed that he was just staring out the window at that meadow. He wouldn't stop. Finally, his mother asked him what he was doing and what he was staring at, and he told his mother he was looking at a lady who needed help.
Uh-oh.
She had a black t-shirt on and jeans, and her legs were straight in the air, and she was dead. But she needed them to help her.
Oh.
She had blue hair.
I hate this story. It's very scary.
It gets scarier.
No.
Naturally, this unsettled the family. They had no idea that just 5 miles to the north was the location of Sandra's abandoned camp in Johnson Meadows. Jake, Caden's father, finally went to search the meadow because his son was insisting that the woman was there, begging for help.
Nope. I hate this. He sees dead people. Blech.
But the dad didn't see anything. So the whole family was just so creeped out by this entire event. They said, fuck it, we going home. They just turned right around and went home.
Yes, me too.
Later that day, Victoria would post about it on Facebook. Because why not? And a Madera County sheriff happened upon the post. And he was shocked at Caden's description. A woman with blue hair and jeans and a black t-shirt laying in the meadow asking for help.
Yeah.
So he contacted the family and wanted to interview the little boy. Because, I mean, they're desperate to find her at this point. Why not? So he interviewed Caden and then showed him pictures of Sandra in a lineup.
Yeah.
He picked them all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
The next day, they went to the spot with Jake did, the dad, because he'd driven up there. So he took police there. They found no trace of Sandra. To this day, no additional sightings or belongings of Sandra have been found. There are several theories, but none of them really make sense. So we're going to talk about them.
Okay.
You know, like you do.
Okay.
The first theory is that Sandra had a mental breakdown. Like, the pandemic freaked her out.
Yeah, like it did everybody.
She was already kind of a lonery type person.
Yeah, she wanted to be an accountant.
And she went up into the wilderness because the pandemic freaked her out too much.
I think a lot of people lost their shit during the pandemic.
Well, I want to say, like, I don't want to make Sandra seem like a loon or anything.
No.
I freaked out at the start of the pandemic.
That's what I'm saying.
Really
a lot of people
hard.
did. Yeah, I
so
wasn't
scared.
being cheeky or nothing.
I was so scared.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave my house. I was terrified. And it, probably up until, I don't know, that fall, I was freaked out.
I'm just really good at an emergency.
You didn't freak out at all. You were so calm. It was so nice.
I'm really good at that. Yeah. I'll freak out later though.
But like without you, I probably would have freaked out more.
Yeah, I'm people legit lost their shit during the pandemic.
So maybe she was just like, I don't want to be around people. I'm going to go up and survive in the woods. Fuck this shit.
Fair.
And she's paranoid and she's freaking out and panicking.
Mm-hmm.
She gets up there. And another thing to note is her family said that her dyeing her hair blue was really strange.
Again, she wanted to be an accountant. She got blue hair.
She's 54. She's retired now.
Yeah, it's not
she
the
was
time
an
for
accountant.
blue hair usually.
She wasn't the type of person to have blue hair.
Right.
And her family said it was weird for her to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are pictures, like selfies she took.
Mm-hmm.
So she did have a cell phone because there's selfie. Where's this phone and why ain't we looked into it? I'm assuming they did.
Yeah.
And she must have turned it off. That's my guess.
Yeah, maybe it was harder to get into phones in 2020.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I just think maybe she didn't even bring it because she's just like, I'm camping, fuck
that's
it.
a possibility.
It's not even going to have a signal up here.
True. Okay, yeah.
It wouldn't have.
No.
So, whatever, no phone. But her family said it was weird for her to dye her hair blue. This kind of shows some instability, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be weird for me to dye my hair blue.
Yeah, we are weird artist people.
Well, I've done it before, too.
Yeah.
This is the first time she'd, like, ever dyed her hair really at all.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. She's 54.
Yeah.
I think that this is the most likely explanation. But what bothers me is the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Without the camp, this is an easier story. Do you get what I'm saying? If she had just crashed her car and then wandered off into the woods disoriented, that would make sense to me. But the camp is strange.
Maybe there was a bad aminal and she ran out and then couldn't find her way back?
Well, she found her way to her car to drive.
Oh.
See what I'm saying? That's not it. An animal wouldn't have scared her off. She was used to that.
I feel like there's a person that we don't know that was involved.
A lot of people would agree with you that there's a second person we know nothing about that she took with her on this trip.
Or that they was going to go up there to give her supplies or something.
Or meet her there.
Yeah.
That's also a theory.
Mm-hmm.
Another theory is that she, for whatever reason, left her camp. And that she got into this little car accident, got a head injury, and it made her... Because people sometimes with head injuries are very standoffish from other people. Mm-hmm. You know, they refuse help. But why would she refuse help a month later? She's not going to still have a concussion in a month.
I'm thinking. I don't know. You know?
It also doesn't explain the state of her camp.
Unless she was already a ghost at that time.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think when the hunters saw her, she was...
Already a ghost.
And I know. I don't usually get supernatural with my true crime up in here, but this one's just weird.
When she like turned away and she wouldn't respond. That's how a ghost acts.
Yeah, they said it's like she didn't even see him.
Yep.
Yeah. And that the child saw her because if y'all haven't been listening to the telepathy tapes, do it.
It's just fun for anything, you know.
Yeah, and I'd be curious to know more about the little boy who saw her.
Have you seen other dead people's son?
Yeah, that's what I want to ask. I bet he does.
Yeah, probably.
I just believe in that shit. Y'all don't have to. These are just me spitballing, speculating.
Yeah.
Because even the police don't consider that sighting of Sandra by the hunters to be credible because it's almost impossible. She'd likely have been dead by then.
Right.
But there's so many weird things. They never found her shoes. Never.
No.
But I mean, shoes are an easy thing to get lost in the woods.
I guess. I don't know.
But why'd you take them off? She wasn't being chased or anything.
I have no idea.
Do you see how this case just fucks me up?
I don't know anything.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Another theory is that she saw something she shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. Like, there are a lot of grow operations, illegal ones, in the Sierra National Forest, and that she stumbled across it, and that's why she left her camp in a disarray and was trying to escape.
She got threatened or something.
But if she was trying to escape, she went the wrong way. Why didn't she ask anyone for help?
Right.
Doesn't make sense to me. And marijuana grow operators don't want police attention, and killing a 54-year-old white lady would sure get that.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm just not buying that as a reason for her disappearance either. I'm going to go with the first theory. She had some sort of mental breakdown because of the pandemic. Because like a lot of us have kind of pushed it out of our mind now. But I freaked out real good.
The whole world lost their mind.
We lost our minds. It was so scary. Yeah. And I can see if she was already kind of a lonery type person, or like kind of OCD maybe with how neat and meticulous she was. She would just been like, I can't with these germs. Ugh.
I remember during the 2020 pandemic, and it was like right around February, March, where we were at almost like the height of freaking out.
Yeah.
We were at the grocery store, and there was like a convoy of what was very clearly like people who were running to the hills.
Yes.
And we were the hills. And like they were packing out, man.
Yeah, it was scary. I was just like, oh my God, it's going to become an end of the world. I do not know. Yeah. And I'm not even like, I'm a little hypochondriacal. Mm. If you have any kind of hypochondria, the fucking pandemic just ruined your life. Mm-hmm. I actually haven't had hypochondria since then.
Oh, that's cool.
It broke me.
You were just like, we're all going to die, yeah.
I was just like, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to be on a ventilator and die. And I could see how she would be freaked out and be like, I'm running for the hills.
Yep.
Where the people aren't. And maybe she didn't ask for help because she was scared of people avoiding them. They might be sick. You don't know. Because at that point, we knew that COVID you could have it for up to 2 weeks with no symptoms, but still transmit it.
Yeah.
And people, of course, outdoors aren't wearing masks.
No.
So I bet you she was just all the way freaked the fuck out and didn't want any help. Mm-hmm. And that's what took her life, unfortunately. Because I don't think she's with us any longer.
No, I think she's a ghost.
I do think that the last sighting of her by the hunters she was a ghost.
Mm-hmm. And then the kid, yep.
Definitely with the kid. Well, he said, she's dead. Oh. He said it several times. Oh. She's dead, but she needs our help. And he said she was laying on the ground with her legs in the air.
So that to me feels like she fell down and maybe like some kind of cliff.
Yes, and she was trying to show the little boy. I think that's so eerie and sad. I don't know. It's just so creepy.
A ravine, if you will.
An actual ravine?
Yeah.
And not a ditch.
No.
So I want you guys to join Discord and talk to me about this because it is taken over my life now. I know it's kind of short, but that's all. Like my life is just stupid right now. And I'm just trying to get by.
Oh, yeah.
My water heater went out.
Uh-huh.
My phone broke. Uh-huh. My car exploded.
Yeah.
And I just can't with anything anymore.
No.
I'm in a little ball, I'm sweaty, and I'm crying.
Yeah.
And this is the best I could do, but I thought it was a really kind of creepy... This is like the creepy time of year. Everyone thinks it's fall. No, winter's the creepy time of year to me. Everything's cold and dead and dark.
It's true.
The trees don't have no leaves, and they rattling like bones.
We're in a ravine.
We're in a fucking ravine, and this is just one of the cooler ghost stories, and it's recent, and I had never heard of it before.
We are all scared now.
It did creep me out, like no joke. I was like, ew, it gave me the goosebumps. Blech. Now, I won't be back on Discord till about Monday, Tuesday. My new phone, God, should arrive by then, and so I'll be back on Discord, but you can talk amongst yourselves until I get there. I'll be there, I promise you. Yeah. I promise. Yeah. Other than that, business time. I'm working on several Patreon episodes. Yeah, several. Me and Maris will be doing them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And they'll be probably all true crime. Sorry. I might do one haunted house. I might do one haunted house.
Could we do a false crime? Fantasy crime.
Where I make up the crime?
Yeah. I'll solve it.
Oh, you're going to solve it like the great mouse detective that you are.
Correct.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
No, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
But I have several coming up, and they're all pretty interesting, and I'm going to try and get them recorded in like a couple of days. Since now we're snowed in, I don't have a vehicle or a phone, so there's just really no
stranded
excuse.
Like Sandra.
Yeah. But a little better off. I have a roof and whatnot, and food. Yeah. I have shoes if I want them. Don't need them though. So, Maris, I hear you have a podcast.
Yes, it's called Reality with your host, me, Maris, and my wife, Lillian, over there.
I'm right here.
And this is where we talk about reality television.
That's very good.
I forgot for a minute what we talk about. It's reality television most of the time. I've been using Sister Wife as my bread and or butter because I just am into it.
Yeah, you are.
Someday I won't be, and sorry about it if you hate it.
We have other shows. We've covered 90 Day Fiancé. We've covered...
It's just watching TV with me.
Do you want to know what our most popular episode is?
What the fuck is it?
The Hoarder's Poop episode.
Oh no, I can't do that again.
Yeah, the poopy nasty Hoarders episode.
Oh, that episode made me throw up.
We both got like really
I
nauseous
hate
watching
that.
that.
That is the most popular one. What do you mean? Oh.
It has the most downloads, like
What
by
is
far.
wrong with you guys?
By far.
Oh, stop it. No. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
It has the most comments.
What did they say? Ew?
They're like, "Oh my god, gross," and like, "Ha ha ha, that was funny" or something. They liked that you
No.
suffered.
That's mean, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh.
Yeah, so join us. Like we cover all kinds of reality. Including we've done Wife Swap. We've done not Hell's Kitchen, but Kitchen Nightmares. Gordon
I can do
Ramsay.
a Hell's Kitchen. I don't.
No, that one's more game showy. Like I don't think we can do that, but I think we could do Kitchen Nightmares some more. There's some really good ones.
Hotel Hell.
Hotel Hell. There's so much
I
reality
don't
TV.
like Gordon very much.
We did Trading Spaces too, because I hate that show.
Yeah.
Let these assholes ruin your house. That's what
Yeah.
remember when that bitch put hay on the walls?
I tried to find that episode, but
It is like
scrubbed off
taken
the
from
internet.
all of the world. We're not
Yeah,
allowed to see
I
it.
did my best as I could.
And guys, I have a new podcast coming up. And they're just saying, "Oh my God, Lillian, why?" Because I want to. I don't know. I can't go anywhere.
What's it
can I?
called?
Between the Sheets with Lillian.
What's it about?
It's about erotica.
What's that?
That's naughty written words, naughty books.
So it's between the sheets, like pages of books.
That's right.
very
Not in my
smart
bed
of
with
you.
me.
Whoa.
I mean, and we're going to talk about things like I'm going to do spicy book reviews. Like you see it on Book Talk, all these nasty books.
I don't read.
He doesn't read, but I do.
Yeah.
A lot. And I will read them so you don't have to, because I'm going to tell you, as an erotica writer, a lot of these are fucking bad.
Mm.
And I'm not going to pull no punches, and I don't care who get mad at me. Eat shit.
Wow.
Number 2, we'll have Kink of the Week.
Whoa.
Yeah, where I tell you what certain fetishes are, like macro and microphilia. That's where a woman shrinks a man down real tiny and does weird things to him.
Mm.
Often ends in his
What the
death.
fuck is wrong with everybody?
And I will be kink shaming because I can.
Wow.
Well, some kinks are just like, come on.
Yeah.
Come, vomit? No.
Mm-mm.
Stinky, don't likey.
Mm-mm.
I mean, like, you do you, boo-boo, but
Not boo-boo.
I'm not doing
No
boo-boo
boo-boo.
for me. Thank you.
No.
I will also talk about the business and how to get into it yourself. Like if you're interested in writing naughty stories. I'll even read excerpts from my own work because I ain't scared or shy.
Wow.
And Maris will be here the whole time to just be horrified and embarrassed.
I am both things right now.
Yeah, but stay tuned. I'm going to do the first episode on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Even though it ain't got nothing to do with love.
Yeah.
Just knocking the boots.
Oh. Okay.
That doesn't need love.
I guess.
Yeah.
True.
And otherwise, I don't really have anything else. I just want to thank you guys for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm a disaster person.
That's true. We both are.
I don't know how. I've tried real hard to be good, so I don't know what's going on. And this year's off to a real great start.
Well,
I'm
there's
sarcastic.
A lot of stuff going on, yeah.
And everything's on fire, and there's a bunch of drones everywhere, and Trump's going to be president, and H5N1 is probably going to kill us all soon, and, war. It's all bad.
Anyways.
But I thought talking about porn and crime would be fun.
Right.
So, yeah. If you want to get a hold of me right now, you just fucking can't. I'm sorry. I don't have access to anything. I'm using an old tablet to try and do anything at all, and I just want to cry. So, sorry. But I'll be back around Monday, and then you can bother me then.
Yeah.
But until then, goodbye.
Bye.
Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/Cruelty has all of the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Libby.